The long arm of the law reaching to the Caribbean and the U.S. Virgin Islands. All the miles to catch a one-time horse trainer. More on his arrest right now on ABC 10 First News. Good Tuesday to you, everybody. I'm Bob Brynne. A one-time Grayson County horse trainer arrested on a felony warrant in the U.S. Virgin Islands. That word from Grayson County Sheriff's deputies. ABC 10's Brynne Brown has details on the arrest.
Landon James was found and arrested by U.S. Marshals in the Virgin Islands with assistance from special rangers from the Southwestern Cattle Raisers Association. In October, the Grayson County Sheriff's Office received numerous complaints in reference to theft stemming from Landon James, a former manager at the Majestic Ranch in Tioga. Over a period of several months, James was accused of stealing money, horses, and other related items.
And I actually had confronted him over some money that he, had billed me fraudulently on in the last few weeks he was there, and we were supposed to meet one more time, and then I was probably going to pull my horse from him, and then that was the week that he took off. So I think that came to a head for everybody, that we finally figured him out, and that's probably why he ran.
According to the Grayson County Sheriff's Office, James is in the process of being extradited to Grayson County. Later tonight at 10, we'll hear from the Grayson County Sheriff's Office on the arrest. In studio, Brynne Brown, ABC 10 First News.
The trial of former Durant Middle School teacher Ryan Capps has been moved again. Capps was arrested on a child sexual abuse charge in November of last year. His trial date was set for this morning, but was moved to March 27th of next year. It's the second time the trial has been pushed back. Blue skies and shirt sleeve temperatures across Texas. Mandy, my goodness, how long is this stuff going to hang on?
Well, we're going to see another nice day on the way for Wednesday with more sunshine, more 70s, but those leaves continue changing color. We are near peak to peak across all of Texoma right now and will likely stay so for another 5 to 6 days. Next week, winds crank up. I think a lot of those leaves going to start falling. Here's a look at the Talamina Scenic Drive. Weekend colors, beautiful oranges and reds and even those yellows, but raking already underway for some folks as leaves do start to fall. We'll be good to go for the next 2 days with no rain and very light winds. By Friday, winds start picking up and we'll see those continue increasing heading into next week. We'll talk about that storm system leading up into Thanksgiving coming up. Bob.
All right, Mandy. Staff with Grayson College claim they're broadening students' horizons. ABC 10's Brynne Herzfeld joins us with more on educators' efforts. Brynne.
Thanks, Bob. Starting in the spring semester, Grayson College students will gain access to an online course sharing program, allowing them to take classes offered by 9 other partner schools. With a spike in enrollment in the 2023 fall semester, Grayson College staff hope the course sharing pilot will help boost their completion rate. Community colleges receive more state funding based on how many students successfully complete their degree or transfer to a 4-year institution.
At the end of the day, our ultimate goal is for students to complete. We know when they complete that they do have access to employment and workforce, and so we're hoping that this will help our completion rate with students being able to access courses.
The schools are divided into teaching institutions offering the courses and home institutions where the student is enrolled. Tonight we'll hear more about that enrollment spike, what's driving it, and how it connects to that pilot program. In studio, Brynne Herzfeld, ABC 10 First News.
Texas Congressman Pat Fallon reversed course on a decision to leave Congress. State Senator Drew Springer currently holds a District 30 seat but will not run for re-election. Congressman Fallon originally planned to run for that Senate seat again, but has since filed to run for Congress again. He held the District 30 seat for 2 years before Senator Springer. The city of Denison joined the city of Grand Prairie in a suit against the state of Texas following passage of Senate Bill 2038. The bill allows property owners to petition the city to remove property from a city's extraterritorial jurisdictions, essentially becoming their own entity from the city. A move the city of Grand Prairie believes is unconstitutional. So far, though, no petitions filed in Denison. A crowd in the nation's capital today in support of Israel, all decrying anti-Semitism as tensions rise across the country. ABC's Liz Sanders reports from the rally.
Moments of joy and and also sadness at the March for Israel Tuesday on the National Mall. Tens of thousands of people gathered from all over the nation to show support for Israel, oppose anti-Semitism, and advocate to release the hostages held by Hamas. With security and safety top of mind, the Department of Homeland Security designated the event as Level 1 security event, the highest risk assessment.
We will not be afraid. We are proud to be Jewish, and we will stand up against intolerance.
With the Capitol in the background, lawmakers also in attendance as they work on passing emergency aid for Israel's defense systems.
We are here united, Democrat and Republican, House and Senate, to say we stand with Israel.
There are few issues in Washington that could so easily bring together leaders of both parties in both chambers. But the survival of the state of Israel and her people unites us together.
As the Biden administration works to secure the release of a number of American hostages, a relative of 3-year-old Abigail Adan spoke with ABC News. The toddler, an American Israeli citizen, was kidnapped after her parents were murdered on their kibbutz on October 7th. She is believed to be held in Gaza by Hamas.
Abigail is a spunky little girl. I want Abigail to know that her brother, her sister, her aunts and uncles, and her grandparents are waiting for her at home. We are waiting for her. We love her very, very, very much, and we are doing everything we can to bring her home.
An official tells ABC News that the special envoy for hostage affairs, often considered the administration's top hostage negotiator, will be meeting with some of the families of those American citizens who have been kidnapped by Hamas. In Washington, Liz Landers, ABC News.
And Congress working to pass a spending bill to keep the government running. If they fail to reach a deal by Friday, it could impact Thanksgiving travel for millions of Americans. ABC's Brynne Herzfeld explains.
It's a race against the clock to avoid a government shutdown, with a Friday midnight deadline fast approaching for Congress to reach a deal. The House voting today on a plan introduced by newly elected Speaker Mike Johnson.
What we need to do is avoid the government shutdown. Why? Because that would unduly harm the American people.
The proposal divides funding into 2 parts, keeping agencies like Veteran Affairs, Transportation, and Housing going until January, and the rest of the government functioning until February. Johnson needs bipartisan support for it to pass, with at least 10 House Republicans saying they will not support it, asking for deep spending cuts.
Are you going to vote to pass the CR today? Where do you stand?
No. We're over $1 trillion now in interest on the national debt, and this does nothing.
I'm not supporting this CR as it's been described to me.
Some Democrats saying they're open to the plan.
We're going to have a family conversation about where we are and where we need to go, again, anchored in democratic values of putting people over politics.
If the government does shut down, 3.5 million federal workers could lose a paycheck.
Average Joe American, when the money doesn't come into your account, you may not be having any food on the table.
That includes TSA agents and air traffic controllers, which could impact Thanksgiving travel. On top of all of this, federal officials have recently sounded the alarm about the air traffic controller shortage. Airlines also acknowledging a staffing issue, announcing they're planning to hire tens of thousands of new employees with the holidays right around the corner. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
We'll be hearing it daily. Threats of a government shutdown getting plenty of play on mainstream media. House Speaker Mike Johnson told Newsmax Greta Van Susteren he does not like continuing resolutions, but his 2-step plan, he says, is the best path forward to avoid a government shutdown Friday and get the House back to regular order regarding appropriations process.
When we get to a position where we have to pass a continuing resolution, it means we failed in our job. That's happened for a long time now. We don't have muscle memory on how to actually do the budget and actually enact 12 separate appropriations bills as the statutes require us to do. Hasn't been done in many years here. So we're trying to break that mold and get back to regular order because that serves the American people well. It's a good stewardship of their precious resources, and it allows for more accountability. So the 2-phase CR, the design of it is, and the reason everybody has been a little bit shocked about it, we haven't done anything like this before. But the purpose is to break up the dreaded Christmas omnibus bill that everybody knows is the way this has been done ever since I've been here for the last 7 years. All the hard work on appropriations is pushed to the end of the year, and then right before everybody is ready to go home for Christmas, they jam down some, $1 trillion spending monstrosity that's 3,000 pages long and no one has time to read it. That is no way to run a railroad. So what we've committed to do is get back to the way it's supposed to be done. And it's like pushing a boulder uphill right now to get people to change that practice. But the two-phase CR will move it into January 19th for the first tranche of bills, and then the remainder will go to February 2nd. And that will allow us the necessary time to finish the work that's been started.
Newsmax reports Speaker Johnson can afford to lose only 3 votes within his party to get the appropriations bill passed in the House, provided all Democrats are opposed. The continuing resolution then would face a Democrat-controlled Senate and a White House that has criticized that approach. Straight ahead on ABC 10 First News, people in one Icelandic village fear a volcanic eruption on the way. We'll hear scientists' claims. Cocaine found in the Biden White House this summer. How the Secret Service is finally releasing pictures of the drug. A closer look this half hour.
And we are in store for some rain going into next week. We'll talk about that Thanksgiving travel forecast coming up. But first, an outdoor forecast sponsored by the Crazy AC Guy.